I'm Paul. I grew up in Harvest, going to church there and in Dothan. And now I'm here in Wilmore, Kentucky. I study at Asbury Seminary. And God's doing something really special here in Wilmore at Asbury. And so we just wanted to tell you a little bit about it. I'm here with 3 of the students from Harvest that were in the youth group there, and now they're students. So yeah, we're just going to talk a little bit about what God's doing, because it's really unique and really special. So go ahead, Lauren.
Yeah, so at Asbury we have chapel 3 times a week at 10 a.m. It is mandatory, but a lot of people skip. And so Wednesday morning chapel started and the gospel choir sang. And as soon as they started worshiping, I got a very clear word from the Lord. And he said, I am pleased. He just said, I am pleased with this worship. And I just felt the Spirit so strongly just pour down. And he was just telling me that he was inhabiting the praises of his people and that he was there and that our worship and our incense were rising to him. It was so clear to me. And ever since then, chapel has not stopped and we have continued to worship 24 hours a day. It's going on, I think, over 70 hours now. So it's amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think one of the things that has stuck out to me the most has just been the genuine feeling of brokenness among students and community members alike. And people are just really convicted by their sin, by the weight of their sin. And God is actually really freeing people and healing people. There's been a lot of things connected to suicide, and people have gotten so much help and prayer for that. And then just addiction, pornography, things like that, and just freedom in general. There's a lot of freedom. And there's a ton of people showing up from out of state and from even out of country. There was a guy that flew in from Hong Kong to be here when he got wind of what's happening. Yeah. So it's just incredible. And there's people from other universities like UK and Transy and BCTC, local places, and then places in Ohio that I've heard about. And there's also a revival breaking out at other Christian colleges, which is just incredible to see how the Lord can move in such an incredible way and in a global way too.
Yeah.
Something that's been special to me is just the unity that has been felt in there. For me, the past 5 months have probably been the loneliest of my life, and just not feeling God, not feeling like Christian community, and then to walk in that room and have brothers and sisters who I've never even met before, like walking up and praying over me. And there's been confession. People will just stand up and just shout what they've been dealing with, and people will go to them and pray for them. And it just builds such a community to have when someone is able to be vulnerable like that with everybody, all the 1,000+ people in there, and tell them, I'm addicted to pornography, or I struggle with suicide, or I have anxiety, or I have depression, and everybody come around them and pray for them, and everybody help them. Just the community that we have in there is just incredible, and it is beautiful, the ability to share and not feel like you're going to be judged and not feel like you're going to be cast out, but you're loved and you're accepted by everybody in there. I have met spiritual uncles, the man from Hong Kong. I prayed with him, and he's just incredible. I don't think he's slept at all in the past 78 hours, and just spiritual elders. It is just beautiful. And then brothers and sisters, it is just amazing to see just the community and the love of Christ that is in that room.
That's good. Here, I'll share one more thing. So a lot of us have heard a lot about revival for many years, and I know for me, I had heard stories but didn't know exactly what it looked like. And there's something really sweet about what the Lord's doing here, because there's nothing crazy going on. It's not a wild environment. There's no manifestations of the Spirit that are wild. It's just a very peaceful environment. And I think everybody that walks in there, the overwhelming senses of peace and of the goodness of God, of the beauty of God, and of his deep love for us. And so I've had many friends, and myself included, that have just sat in that room and not even done anything. It doesn't really matter what's going on stage. It just matters that the presence of God is there. And when the presence of God is there, then everything changes. And there's peace and there's joy in that. So it's been really cool to see. Some of you have been at conferences at Harvest, where there's really good ministry time, and it's that's the closest thing I can compare it to, but it's been going straight for 4 days, 24 hours. So nothing crazy, but a sweet sense of God and an outpouring of Holy Spirit like nothing I've ever seen, and it's absolutely amazing. I want to share one Bible verse with you all before we go. This is Matthew 11. Jesus says, then Jesus said, "Come to me, all who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your soul." And I think that characterizes what God has been doing for a lot of people, is giving them rest, giving them healing for a lot of emotional hurt, especially. So be encouraged. God is doing great things, and we believe that this is something he wants to do nationwide. It's not just for Asbury, but we are praying, continually praying, that this is going to be spreading to churches, other universities, and that God will do a healing work in our nation all over. So God bless you, and thanks.